Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today we're going to look at BT20 Necromon. This is the build I decided on. I'm quite happy with. It does have quite a lot of slots that you can change around to your taste. But without further ado, we're going to start with our eggs. 4 copies of the new BT20 DemiMeramon. On deletion, you can return 1 Digimon card with the Ghost trait from your trash to the hand. We are going to want this egg because it's going to recover us our pieces on our execute triggers and make sure we can keep level 6s and probably level 5s in our hand. For our rookies, we have 3 copies of BT10 Soundbirdmon. This might be weird to some people. When attacking, by placing 1 purple Digimon card from your hand under one of your tamers, draw 1. And then the inheritable, if an effect trashes this Digivolution card, you gain a memory. That kind of matters less. What we care about is the ability to tuck cards underneath our tamers. We are going purple hybrid engine, so this is going to actually let us get some of the nasty inheritables that the Ghostmon archetype has underneath our tamers that we're going to go into hybrids, get some value off the draws, and then potentially hit them with some gross stuff. So I like this as an alternative to Ukomon. You could still run Ukomon in the slot if you wanted to, but I think this is more fun and a little bit more interesting with the inherits you can abuse. We have 2 copies of Ignitemon. We are going to be running a little mini Anubis package because we're running purple hybrids. The Ghostmon line has some retaliate bodies, which are going to pair really nicely with the Mervamon. So we need this to be able to digicross into the Merva to try and eke out some cheeky games. This also is kind of nice because when you play the Merva, this can be a rush body as well, and the inheritable will get you some men back on the Anubis play. So it's just solid with what we're doing with it. So then we have 4 copies of the new BT20 Ghostmon. On play, reveal top 3 of your deck. Add a card with Ghost and 1 card with Liberator. Among them to the hand, the rest go bottom. And the inheritable says on deletion, gain a memory. Really nice. We have a lot of self-delete shenanigans. That inheritable is good basically underneath any of our Digimon. And then the on-play search is going to be nice for finding our level 6s and our level 5s specifically. If we are completely bricked, we don't always want to play this because we can whiff over our purple hybrid engine, which can feel bad sometimes. And then I am running 1 copy of BT8 Psychemon. All turns, players can't reduce play cost. Listen, guys, Medieval Gallimon is here. It's not going anywhere. You kind of got to be prepared to play against it, so I'm running this. You can go up to 2 copies on this if you want, but this is just kind of your precaution against Medieval Gallimon. For our level 4s, we have our little mini hybrid package, BT18 Duskmon. We're on 4 copies. It costs 3 on a level 3, 3 on a Tamer, or 2 on a Koichi. On play and when digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, change the original color of one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers to 1 non-white color. And then when attacking, one of your Digimon or Tamers may digivolve into a level 4 card with the hybrid trait in the trash with the cost reduced by 1. So you're going to evo into the Velgrmon that is hopefully in your trash when you attack with this. The inherit is going to say on deletion you play a Tamer card with cost 4 or less from your trash without paying the cost. Hopefully we're going to be playing Violet with that to stack up our Liberator Tamer, which is going to be really nice with the Ghost cards, obviously. We can also play the Ishida, and on top of just looping the Duskmon with it, we can grab back a card like Apparition Legion, play it for 8, and then just rush out for the game, which is really nice. We have 3 copies of the Velgrmon from BT18 on play, and when digivolving for each color your opponent's Digimon and Tamers have you trash the top card of both players' decks. Then for each card this effect trash, this Digimon gets 1k DP for the turn. That effect itself has a lot of nice synergies with the Apparition Legion because we care about cards in the opponent's trash to return to the bottom of their deck, I believe, either that or the top of the deck. Don't remember exactly. But that's going to put cards in the trash so that we can resolve that and get a level 6 on the board for free. End of attack by deleting 1 level 4 or lower purple Digimon, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest cost. That's also going to be nice if we have any of our memory gain inheritables underneath it. We're getting memory back on that play. We're playing a Tamer with the Duskmon, and there's just a lot of great stuff we get out of deleting ourselves. So obviously we're going to run the Velgrmon in the hybrid package, and it's removable on the opponent's board. This card is fantastic. We have 2 copies of BT20 Soulmon. On play and when digivolving, one of your Digimon gains retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. This is that Mervamon synergy I was talking about. Being able to get retaliate is going to be good for rushing out and winning the game. Also, that retaliate trigger is going to be really important because we have execute, and what retaliate is going to let us do is execute into the opponent with retaliate on our Digimon. Both stacks will die, and then we get bodies back off of our Digimon effect. So we are trading up in that scenario. We have 2 copies of the BT20 Bakemon. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Violet Inboots from your hand without paying the cost, and on deletion gain a memory. This one does have the Liberator trait, so it's nice. We can grab it with another target off the Ghostmon search. The inheritable is going to gain us a memory. Same stuff as the Ghostmon. We really like having that memory gain inheritable. For our level 5s, 4 copies of BT20 Phantomon. This is our primary level 5 in the deck. It has the new keyword execute. At the end of your turn, this Digimon may attack. At the end of that attack, delete this Digimon. Your opponent's unsuspended Digimon can also be attacked with this effect. So you can either attack the opponent's security or their unsuspended Digimon. Important to know, execute is an end of turn attack trigger. You cannot trigger multiple end of turn attack triggers at the same time. I believe. So you can't like execute and vortex at the same time or in sequence. You have to pick one or the other. On deletion, you play a level 4 or lower Digimon card with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. So if we do the retile, execute, swing into the opponent's Digimon, both our stacks die. We get a level 4 back out of it, and if we have the Violet in play, we're going to be able to suspend it to Digivolve back into a 5. On deletion, Inheritable is the same thing. You play a level 4 or lower card with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. This deck has a lot of board presence and puts a lot of bodies on the board. It's going to be persistent and annoying to deal with. Our other 2 level 5s, we have 1 copy of the MetalPhantomon. This, as a rule, has the Ghost type. It has Blocker, and it can evo on Phantomon for 1. On play when Digivolving, by deleting one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. Being able to clear off a level 5 or lower is pretty fantastic. We have lots of ways to play level 5 for free, so we might be able to just play this and trade out a level 5 with the opponent. That's not bad. And then on deletion, de-Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. That's one of the inherits I was talking about being nasty. If we tuck that underneath a hybrid, and then we swing in with the Velgrmon, it dies. We get the de-Digivolve trigger, and we can pop something. You can go up to 2 on this card if you want to drop the Skullgreymon. I think this card is really funny in this deck. On play when Digivolving, by popping something, delete 2 of your opponent's Digimon 5k DP or less. We can possibly get 2 memory back off of that trigger, pop 2 bodies on the opponent's board, and then on deletion, you play a level 3 purple or red Digimon from the trash without paying the cost, so it ties in with the idea of keeping a board presence. It's going to play us a body back, and the Inheritable does the same thing, so if you tuck this under a hybrid stack that you swing, it dies as Velgrmon, you get a level 3 back on that as well, which feels really nice. For our level 6s, we have a copy of Medieval Gallantmon. I know I said it's going to be everywhere. This is kind of a flex slot. You can run what you want here. This is either what you're going to run, your Medieval Gallantmon, your Bolt Bautamon, your Shine Greymon Ruin Mode, whatever you choose for your utility slot, that's where this is going to go. I'm opting for the Medieval Gallantmon because I own a copy. That is my justification for it. It feels really good with the deck. We have ways to swing into the opponent's Digimon to delete them. With Necromon, we have ways to delete it when we Digivolve into Necromon. This is a nice way to put something on the board that can delete something on play, and it can swing into them with the Alliance Vortex trigger. So it feels a little bit nice just to have something you can plop down and pop something with. We do have the 1 copy of Mervamon. Like I said, we're in a hybrid package. We have ways to get memory. We have ways to play bodies that have Retaliate. This is a natural fit. I am just running it at 1 because deck space is extremely tight. Then we have 4 copies of Necromon, the boss monster in BT20. This card costs 4 on a level 5. It has security attack +1 and execute, like we talked about earlier with the Phantomon. On play and when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. Fantastic. And then on play and on deletion, you may play a level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. So in a perfect world, you're evoing this on top of your level 5. You're using the execute trigger. When you Digivolve, you're going to pop something at the lowest level. You either execute into whatever's left on their board or into their security. And then on end of attack with the execute trigger, this is going to die. And then you're going to get the on deletion to play back a level 5 or lower. If you have the Violet Inboots, you're going to tap it. This is going to go back into a level 6. And it's like nothing happened. You just trimmed the opponent's board down and you're at an advantage. Also, the security attack +1 is really great for that execute trigger. When you swing into the security, you're just winding up ahead most of the time based on that play. We have 1 copy of the Anubismon. Like I said, Merva package. It's going to be really strong. Pitching cards, playing cards from the trash with a reduced cost. It's basically going to get your Mervamon for free, or other bodies are also viable. You don't just have to play Merva with this. You're just getting free value when you play this. We then do have 1 copy of the Reapermon from BT20. It also has the Ghost trait. Has collision and blocker all turns once per turn. When an effect digivolves your opponent's Digimon, de-digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. The way this works, as it was explained to me, player priority matters. So on the opponent's turn, if they use a training and they digivolve, they will get their when digivolving, and then Reapermon will trigger and de-digivolve them. That is the sequence that happens. If it's on your turn and you swing and they Blastace, they're going to digivolve with the Blastace. Your effect is going to trigger to de-digivolve them, and then their Blastace is gone and they don't get the when digivolving. So this kind of stuffs blast aces, which is really nice. On deletion, it also pops a 4 cost or lower Digimon or Tamer. Mostly I use that for Tamer hate, but it's a nice 1-up in the deck. You can run the new Imperial Digimon Fighter mode in this slot. It is another floodgate that I think is pretty appropriate. You can't evo into it with the Violet because it's not a ghost type Digimon, but it does stop your opponent from playing Tamers and Digimons, and that's worth considering in the state of the game right now, where basically everything can play Digimon or Tamers for free. Certainly wouldn't be a bad pick to slot in here. If you don't want to run the Merva Anubis package, you could also go up on this and switch some things around. You could either have a higher level 7 top end, or you could slot in the Imperial Digimon Fighter mode that way. As you can see, I do have a lot of flex slots that I'm running in that way. We do have one copy of Apparition Legion. This is another card you could go to 2 on if you drop the Anubis and the Merva. It is an 8 cost option that says main. By returning up to 9 levels total worth of Digimon cards from your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck, you play a Ghost trait Digimon card of each of the return cards level from the trash without paying the cost. Then the Digimon played by this effect get Rush and Blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. And then the security effect says you can play a level 5 or lower Digimon card with a Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. So if you want to play a Necromon, you're going to play a level 6 and a level 3. You have to be able to bottom deck a level 6 and level 3 from the opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck. You would play the Necromon and a level 3. The Necromon on play would pop one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level, and then the on play would also let you play a level 5 or lower Digimon with the Ghost trait from your trash without paying the cost. So you'd wind up with a 3, a 5, and a 6 on board. They all get Rush and Blocker, which means you can then use an Execute trigger to swing in. It would die off the Execute trigger. You'd get a level 5 back. Now you have a 3, a 5, and a 5. And then you can tap Violets to Evo things if things die, but you probably won't be because you're paying 8 to use the option, and you probably don't want to give your opponent more memory, but it is an option if you really need to clear their board out and stop yourself from losing. So really, really great option card. I could totally see the justification for going up to 2. I really like this with the Mat Ishida that you run in the hybrid package because you're just going to play the mat off of the Duskmon play, and you're going to grab Apparition Legion, you're going to slam it down, and you're probably trying to finish the game with that. We do have 2 copies of Jax Raid. It kind of lessens the blow on the Apparition Legion play. It helps us push into Anubismon to play Mervamon and keep turn, and you will probably see it more often than not. We have 2 copies of Wisdom Training, primary search package. I don't feel like you have to run Wisdom Training here, honestly. I've never felt like you really have to in a purple hybrid package run Wisdom Training. You can run 2 copies of Scrambles here. They don't feel bad. We do have a lot of 4-cost Evos that Scrambles would make much more efficient, and you can actually run Vortex Resonance in this slot as well, which is not bad. I just am opting not to run the Vortex Resonance because we need to have Violet or another Liberator trait Digimon in play to ignore the color requirements. So that's a little bit tricky, but I would definitely recommend thinking about a Scramble in this slot. I'm opting for the training because it is a little bit more consistent. Onto the Tamers, 2 copies of BT2 Mat Ishida. Memory Setter, on play grabs you a Digimon or option. That's like what I was saying with playing the Apparition Legion. You can grab it back with this and then slam it down. 3 copies of the BT20 Violet Inboots, kind of the heart and soul of the Ghost engine. Start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory, and then your turn when any of your Ghost trait Digimon are deleted, you can suspend this Tamer. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a card with the Ghost trait in the hand with the cost reduced by 2. We have 3 copies of BT7 Koichi Kimura. On play, draw 1, trash 1, and then the inherit is on deletion, gain a memory. This gets really funny if you use the Soundbirdmon to tuck another memory gain on deletion inherit underneath this, and then when your stack dies, you just get 2 memory back. Feels really silly. And then 2 copies of the BT18 Koichi Kimura. Lets you pitch a card to gain a memory, guarantees you 2 memory to play with, or 4 memory, depending on what your setup looks like. And the memory starts to add up, especially with the Violet. This is going to be a good way to get your Velgrmons in the trash as well. So that's going to be it for my Necromon deck profile for BT20, the first deck profile we're doing for the special release booster 2.5. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know a lot of people are excited to play this card. I know lots of people want to play a tribal. A lot of people want to play a purple hybrid. This is my take on the deck. Let me know what you guys are doing. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Thank you to our YouTube members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, Coffee Deus, and Octavian who make videos like this possible.